Hello everyone, welcome back to Manufactoria. We're still in the hub, kind of early in our utopian robot future, hopefully. And we did these two puzzles last time. So we're moving on to, I don't know, let's try Barber, and that'll open up more puzzles, and then I can choose maybe Dog Walker if I want after that. Some aspects of living in a vast mega factory were great, but it was a bit inconvenient that any sort of outside errand was a huge ordeal. My hair grew embarrassingly long before I stopped making excuses. Well, I'd build a robot to cut my hair, and then I'd sell them to everyone else, just to prove just as prone to procrastinating as I was. If there are at least 2 reds, remove all reds. This seems straightforward. We just copy stuff until we hit a red, and then we shift to another state where we're copying stuff. Ooh, but no, it's tricky. Because what do you do if you just copy reds? If you copy stuff until you hit a red, and then you copy stuff until you hit another red, you have this problem, which is that if you never find a second red, how do you replace that first red you weren't supposed to remove? You could scan forward to it, like it'll be after the first blue, or it'll be after the last blue in sequence, but I don't think you want to do that. So maybe you want to do a 2-pass thing here? I always try to avoid 2-pass solutions. But I think we have to make 2 passes. Either in the case that there are 2 reds, or in the case that there is 1 red. Because that first red that you read, you have to either write it now or not write it now, and then go on scanning looking for a second red. And if you wrote it and you shouldn't have, you have to scan to find it again and remove it. And if you shouldn't have written it, those are the same thing. And if you didn't write it, but you should have, you have to like scan to where it goes and then write it. So I think it might just be simplest, although not very efficient, to just copy the entire tape once, keeping track of how many reds you saw, but not doing anything about them. And then if you saw 2 or more, go over it again and delete them all. Otherwise, just accept. So we start a copy loop. I guess if we see a green here, we can just accept. As long as we see blues, we just write them back. Once we've seen a red, we need to step into the state where we've seen at least 1 red. And I think that I can do that without taking up much space. Oh, by the way, already I can see that this could be here. I'm not using this space for anything. I can put... Do I want this to be flipped? I don't really know. Let's say yes. If I see a blue, I just put it back. And here I've seen a second red. Here if I see a green... hang on. I need... right. I've seen this red, and I do need to copy it. Right, it needs to be included. Because this is my first pass where I don't change anything. I guess I don't have to totally do 2 passes, right? I mean, I do, but I don't have to write a bunch of reds that I'm going to throw away. If I now see a second red, then I can move to a state where I only copy blues and I throw away reds. So reds just go right back in. Blues get stamped back in. And finally, when I see a green marker, I just have to copy only blues. I have to put another green back on before I do it, sadly. So I know when to stop. No, I don't. The red will be when I stop, right? Because I know there's exactly 1 red on the tape, and once I remove it, all that's left will be blue. So just put an ordinary boring copier that copies blues and accepts on red. So in this case, I have to do something here, right? I think just accept, right? I saw a red and copied it. I saw some number of blues and copied them, and then I got to the end. Yeah. So let's test with anything that has at least 2 reds, right? That was the idea. So blue, blue, red, blue, blue, red, blue, red, blue, like that. So we copy blues for a while. And then oh darn it, we found our first red, right? Yeah. So we write that back on. We start copying blues for a while, and wouldn't you believe it, we found a second red. We just start copying only blues, throwing away the red, until we get to our green marker, which we remove. And then we go hunting for the last red, and the instant we find it, we throw the robot right out the chute. Okay, that works pretty well. So, we need to make sure that we handle 0 or 1 red correctly. But haven't I already done that? Here, if we get 0 reds, we just output it after eating the blue. If we get 1 red, yeah, so I think this is done. Cool. I was a bit nervous about giving a robot a whirling array of motorized blades, and my fears were immediately realized when the Barber bot tried to persuade me to go bald, for efficiency. After 15 minutes of argument, Evan was the one who finally got it. Oh, I was so hoping that would say finally got me to see reason. Got it to see reason. We'd have to spend more time on heating if I didn't have hair to insulate my head. Spend more on heating, not more time. Oh, perfect. I'm a genius. Yeah, 1 fewer stamper than it said I needed, a bit faster on time. And stonking great on area, 20. I didn't think what I did was that clever. I wish I could, like, shave off of this somehow, but I don't think I can. Who knew? Maybe people were making the mistake of rewriting a green when it's time to go back over the tape hunting for the remaining reds. Like They just did an actual 2-pass thing like I said. I said I was going to do a 2-pass thing, and then I like kind of did, but kind of didn't. I only do 2 passes where necessary. I don't like copy the whole tape and then decide what to do about it. So that's nice, I guess. Hooray for me. Alright, let's have a look at Dog Walker. Evan had seen a series of adorable dog videos online and begged until I let it adopt a puppy. As my assistant, though, there would be no time for it to take the dog for a walk. We could hire a walker, or we could build one. Remove the first command if there is another copy of it on the tape. Okay. So I think we can just read the first command, not write it back, scan the whole tape, looking for another copy. And then, if you find one, you move to another state where you're still copying, but you plan not to rewrite the first command back. If you don't end up finding a second copy, then once you read the green, you rewrite the command you were remembering from the beginning? No. Because then it'll be at the end of the tape instead of the beginning. Because you'll have just written it now. So... I mean, you could write it, and like then you could like put a green there to remember that you have to copy everything else. Doesn't seem like a lot of fun, though. So what if we just copied the first command, like in the boring way, and then started copying the tape? Yeah, that's the way to go. Because then, when you get to the end of the tape, you can easily just remove what's at the front, which will be the copy of the first command that you wrote optimistically. Okay, I feel like these sections, I don't know if it's a coincidence, but all of them I'm like, I want to do something optimistically, and then like maybe go back and fix it. So we start by stamping in a green as always, and we need a scanner, and I guess we can just accept if there was a green there. We see a red, which is down here. We stamp it back on, and then, oops, and then start copying. Where copy is a little bit fancy here. First, if we see a green, then we must have successfully gone over the entire input without finding a second red, and therefore we are done. We weren't supposed to modify the tape, and we haven't. If we see a blue, we just write it back. And if we see a red, we still need to write back that red. But then we move into a state where we know that we need to remove the first red from the tape. So we go into another copying loop here, where we copy blue and red. Oh, you know what? No, I was gonna say this whole section can be reused for the top half if we really want to minimize our scanner count, but it can't. Because at the end, when we see a green, oh, it can. At the end, when we see a green, we just need to remove whatever symbol is there, whether it's blue or red. Because that's the one that we... Now, we know that it will actually be red, But if we make this state, if we want to optimize scanners, we can make this state re-reachable from up here. In which case, I mean, I guess it's cleaner to just put this here to begin with anyway. It doesn't cost me anything on any of the metrics the game looks at. But I think for a simple solution, we can just take this, paste it, vertical mirror, and color swap it. And I think we're done. Yeah. By the time I finished the dog walker, Evan was already bored of its pup. It had learned all it needed to from the dog, Evan claimed, but it had been watching a number of very cute horse videos. I needed to put some limit on Evan's internet access. Okay, so, sort of unsurprisingly, we didn't max out scanners, or we didn't win on scanners and stampers, but that was kind of what I thought would happen, right? I did well on time, well enough, and on area. But now, let's go back and do the simplification that I talked about. Where... Well, it's going to hurt me on area, actually. I thought it would help, but it doesn't. So I'm going to have to stretch this out a bit to reach here, I think. And I can't actually get rid of any of this stuff, as far as I can see. After copying blue, we go up here. I could get rid of this top row, I think. By... Well, I mean, the problem is... that to... I need to be able to get from here to here, or vice versa. Could I start over here, maybe? Would that be useful? If this were out of the way? I could flip this around. There'd be an accept in the middle, which I think is just as bad. Ah. Well. If I put this kind of facility in the center, then there can just be a conveyor belt leading to it instead of a stamper. And I can have a stamper kind of closer to this, the top right and the bottom right, that leads onto the conveyor belt going there. I still think I'm going to have difficulty getting around something. But anyway, moving these two over here seems like it simplifies the problem a little bit, so let's do that. So this I want horizontally mirrored. Actually, I kind of want that horizontally mirrored, right? And then just move this guy to here. So this still passes, right? I didn't mess anything up there. Okay. Doesn't affect my scores at all, so I'll leave it. But you see I have a little bit more maneuverability now. And you can kind of imagine gosh. Yes, here we go. We take this whole thing and rotate it. And this goes over here, and now we just have conveyor belts running into that, right? No, something went wrong. This is never reachable. I rotated it, but I didn't include adjusting its entry point. Right. So here, the red goes into that. Ugh. Oh, of course. I don't need these two to both be red. Right, so I can delete this. Take this and rotate it as I was doing. And mirror it. So that I reuse this red entry point. Right? So the red entry point, and in fact, I can do without this stamper as well. By using this as my entry. And I feel like there's surely room up here to get rid of this top row as well. It brings me down to 30. Can I do better? Maybe? But let's just make sure this is correct. Yeah, it is. So that wins on stampers. Gets me down to 12, which is nice. An area, I can do at least 30, I think. Surely there's enough space here to play with, right? I just have to take this area and do, like, put it somewhere better, more convenient. For example, take this, rotate it that way, maybe? A little tricky. Maybe it's not so easy. I could maybe run it against this wall, now that I look at it. Something like that? Not quite, because there's no way in, right? Like this? Can I fit it in like that? Oh my god. I think I can. So we take this blue marker here and we route it next into there, right? Oh, it doesn't quite fit because I need it to, when it finishes this space, it needs to write an extra blue before it comes down into this, right? So sadly, I think I need to make it just the tiniest bit taller. Or not taller exactly, but move these up, move this back up. No, that's the wrong one. What is this even doing? Get out of here. Because when it sees a blue, I need it to get over here. And that means I have to route around this. Well, I could go up and around, but yeah, I guess I do have to actually, because, yeah, okay. So is this still correct? No. What happened? Sorry. Show me again? Blue, blue. I read a blue. Oh. That needs to go in there. And I think that improved my score some. Yeah, I was at 35 before, right? I can't have 25. That's so gross. I was almost there. There's just like a little bit more organization to do, I think. To somehow avoid having to route around this red guy. I can't see it. Alright, that's good enough anyway. I'm happy. Gosh, it's been half an hour and we've only... What have we done today? Was it... Did we do 2? We did like Dog Walker and Barber, didn't we? I'm lost. Yeah, we did these 2 before. We did these 2 today. Alright. I mean, I'll have a look at Chatterbot since it's so easy. I should be able to do it pretty quickly, right? I've been avoiding the thorny problem of making robots listen, but having to type in everything I wanted to tell Evan was driving me nuts. How hard could it be to have robots understand human language perfectly? Junk robots that end with red and produce the rest. So we copy and copy and copy. I mean, we basically have to maintain one like look behind, kind of, basically. One pushback. So we do need a stamp, as usual. I've forgotten how to do those. Hello? Oh, I'm not allowed to. Can't write any reds. It doesn't want me to preserve what was there. I see. Well, that's easier, isn't it? Yeah, quite. So we go into this mode here where we're gonna need like two states basically. Let's put them out here because I suspect I'll need a pipe here to move between them. We'll treat this as the state where what we saw most recently was blue. Technically, we didn't see anything at the beginning, but it wasn't red. So whatever we saw most recently, we can just pretend it was blue. And if we see a red, we need to be in a state where... I don't need a pipe there. We need to be in a state where if we see a red, then we stay in that state. If we see a blue, we go back to this state. Oh, I can do even better, can't I? So blue sends me back here. A red puts me back into this state. And this is the frying pan, right? Yeah. Hello, how are you? I adjusted the second gas manifest to AM. Okay, whatever. He's talking, I guess. So, this was done in 3x4. Could you do it in 3x3 somehow? I don't think so. Ah. One thing does occur to me, though. You can do it in 2x4. Yeah, one thing that occurred to me was this doesn't have to be here. It could be this. So I can just do that. And I guess we can move this one over now that it does matter which side it's on. Just give me this and mirror it, and we should be good to go, right? Oh, yeah, that one maybe not so great. I got an achievement for that. Where to? Maybe for having my robot be rejected without even looking at it, just dump it right out when it came in. That's sort of interesting. It didn't win on time. I can do one tick better. But only one tick. Well, I mean, presumably it could be possible to do more, but at least one is better. So show me the slowest one, actually. Yeah, run all. But you were supposed to show me the slowest, weren't you? Close? Yes. A bunch of blues. So the point is that when I have many inputs that are the same color in a row, I'm not handling them as fast as I could. I could put another scanner here, where the blue sends it back into this state, and the red sends it, like, over here. Or maybe to an equivalent area that's like this one, but closer? Probably, yeah. I mean, how much is that really going to show example? Show a nice fun robot? Interesting. So, like, I can put that in, right? Where, I guess I want this mirrored. Where we also accept in this state, we have like a duplicate blue. But then it slows down the reds a lot if I want to come down to here. So, I mean, I guess I would then just put in a copy of what's down here, right? Where blues take me back into the happy blue state. Reds are copied, and we junk robots that end here. This should be a little faster, I think. Why is it not allowed to run? I don't have a start location, indeed. Let's go here. So my slowest takes 23 now, right? which is a little bit... Oh, which is as fast as it had to be. Okay. So, obviously quite a bit larger. Used more stamps, or more readers, scanners. But apparently optimizing for contiguous blues is nice. We could optimize for contiguous reds. Wait, how do you do this? You say run, then you say close, then you say slowest. So, like, I could similarly speed this one up a bit if I wanted, right? By having a duplicate red area over here. I'm not really convinced this is amazing. Oh, it's not so... Yeah, it is, sure. Well, I don't know, maybe not. Because if I do that... Fine, I can have this, where the reds bounce back and forth. But then if I get a blue, I have to go all the way back to here, or else make yet another copy of this blue line, right? And this is probably going to slow me down. Anytime I use this, it's horrible, right? Yeah, 28. So I would need another copy of the blue thing here, and I don't really have room for one. So, alright, whatever. We'll just forget this. Wait. Oh, yeah. I thought we were at the beginning of a new episode, but we're not. It's the end of the current episode. Alright, I found an excuse to spend some time on Chatterbot. I made it take longer than it really had to, but we're done now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.